time the rope left my fingers. The class sat, waiting in anticipated silence, moving their heads along with the rope as it soared through the classroom. It flew through the air, past the chalkboard, past Tessa, past Mrs. Perkins, and made connection exactly where I was aiming. The neck and shoulders of Cade Williams. After a collective gasp, the class sat in stunned silence. As the shock on Cade's face gave way to anger, I matched his glare and slowly pulled the rope toward me, tightening the cinch around his neck. Once she had registered that I had potentially come unglued, Mrs. Perkins bounded over to Cade. "Kelsey, drop that rope right now!" While she loosened the knot around his throat, I dropped the rope and stuck my tongue out at him once again as I ran to sit down. Cade's face grew red as the class snickered and pointed at him. I guess you could say this was the start of a very bad day, for him as well. After lunch and recess, the queasy feeling in my stomach had become decidedly worse. I thought about going to see the school nurse, but then I would have had to talk to Mrs. Perkins again, and after what happened earlier, I decided to take my chances. That afternoon, the entire first and second grade filed into the gymnasium to see a woman sing fun songs in crazy voices. She had come the year before, and I had loved singing along so much that I hadn't wanted to miss out on seeing her again. So there were many reasons for not going to the nurse when the sick feeling got progressively worse during the assembly. It was also not my fault that Cade was sitting directly in front of me on the gym floor. Even when he and Luke walked in and made faces at me, they still chose to sit right in front of Tessa and me, probably trying to block our view. The singer was on a rousing chorus of apples and bananas when I took a turn for the worse. My stomach tossed and churned, and I became increasingly afraid to make any sudden movements. I scanned the crowd for Mrs. Perkins and found her talking to another teacher on the other side of the gym. I shot my hand up in the air, waving frantically, trying to catch her eye. Still nothing. I was losing time, desperate time, and then suddenly, time ran out. I was in the midst of standing up to run out of the gym, teacher be hanged, when I lost it. All of it. Chunky, projectile vomit spewed from my mouth as the wide-eyed kids in my row suddenly relived the prison-grade spaghetti, meatballs, and green beans we had all ingested for lunch, and chocolate milk. But perhaps no kid relived the horrifying second helping more than Cade Williams. Unfortunately for him, I was in the middle of standing up, which put me at the perfect angle for a direct hit. The brown and pink spaghetti slime gushed down the back of his head, both sides, and the front of his face. The unbending patch of hair finally yielded at the weight of the sour-smelling sludge, now piled high atop his head. Upon contact, he jumped up and whirled around, spraying chunks of vomit onto the unsuspecting bystanders. Staring at me with brown eyes flashing the depths of his misery, the look on his face could only be described as complete and utter horror. My stomach heaved a few more times, but for the most part, I felt surprisingly better. The room held a collective gasp as hundreds of captivated eyes stared at Cade and me. The two of us gaped at each other in the most excruciating face-off. I wanted to die. By the looks of it, Cade wanted me to die as well. The quiet could only last so long, especially from the innocent among the crowd, who soon realized it was puke juice that had been flung onto them. The room soon erupted with crying, wailing, laughing, pointing, whispering, and my extreme humiliation. Mrs. Perkins finally rushed over, ushering Cade and me out of the gym. The three of us trudged toward the nurse's office. The only sound between us was the click of my purple plastic sandals with a daisy flower on top. The throw-up had gotten on my shoes and feet, making my heel slip with each step forward. I had thrown up in front of the entire second grade. The despair I felt fled out of my eyes in the form of heaping tears and hiccuping.